When a sudden blackout plunges your world into darkness, what's your first move? Forget the expensive survival gear you've never used. The real lifesavers are already in your home, hiding in plain sight. Think about what's in your kitchen drawers, your bathroom cabinet, or even your kid's craft box. These everyday items possess the untapped potential to keep your family safe, warm, and fed when the power grid fails. The only problem is, most people walk right past them, completely unaware of their power. Today, we're changing that. I'm going to reveal 10 ingenious DIY hacks that transform common household objects into critical survival tools. We're not talking about complex projects. You can prepare all of these in under an hour with pocket change. These simple tricks can make the difference between a night of chaos and a situation you control. And make sure you stick around for the final hack. It's a game changer that could keep your lights on while your neighbors are fumbling for candles. Before we jump in, take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss the essential survival skills we share every week. 1. The pocket-sized furnace, DIY can heater. First up, let's tackle the most immediate threat in a cold weather blackout: staying warm. When the power goes out and the temperature plummets, your home can become dangerously cold in just a few hours. But what if I told you that you could create a reliable personal furnace using little more than a coffee can and some tea lights? This is the pocket-sized furnace, an old-school survival trick that's as simple as it is effective. During major power outages, like the historic Texas freeze in 2021, families who knew this technique were able to create pockets of warmth in their homes, staving off the bitter cold with items they already had. The science behind it is beautifully straightforward. A single candle produces a small amount of heat, but most of it dissipates quickly. By placing several candles inside a metal container, you trap and concentrate that thermal energy. The metal can absorbs the heat and then radiates it outward, creating a surprisingly potent heat source. In a small enclosed space like a car, a tent, or a single sealed-off room, this simple device can raise the ambient temperature by several crucial degrees. That's enough to keep frostbite at bay, prevent your pipes from freezing, and provide a significant psychological boost. The best part is how accessible this is. You don't need fancy equipment. All you need is a clean, empty metal can. A large coffee can or a paint can works perfectly, and a handful of tea lights or votive candles. To maximize its efficiency, you can place a smaller can upside down inside the larger one to create a raised platform for the candles, allowing for better air circulation. Tea lights are ideal because they are self-contained and can burn for 3 to 4 hours each. A pack of 100 costs next to nothing and can provide warmth for days. This DIY heater is more than just a source of warmth. It's a multi-tool. Place a small grill or metal mesh over the top, and you have an emergency cooktop perfect for heating a can of soup, boiling water for purification, or making a warm drink. In the dark, the steady glow from the can is also a comforting light source, creating a sense of calm and control when everything else feels chaotic. Prepare a few of these ahead of time and store them in your home, garage, and car. 2. The Omni-Glow Lantern. A water bottle and a beam. When darkness falls unexpectedly, our first instinct is to reach for a flashlight. But a flashlight creates a narrow, harsh beam, leaving the rest of the room in disorienting shadows. It's not ideal for performing tasks or creating a calm environment. What you need is an ambient light source, and you can build one in seconds with the Omni-Glow Lantern. This brilliant hack uses a simple water bottle to transform a single beam of light into a 360-degree lantern that can illuminate an entire room. This isn't just a fun trick, it's a technique used by aid workers and outdoor explorers in some of the most challenging environments on Earth. The principle at play is light diffusion. When you shine a flashlight, its light travels in a straight, focused line. However, when that light passes through water, it refracts and scatters in countless directions. By strapping a headlamp or a small LED flashlight to the side of a water-filled bottle, you're essentially turning the entire bottle into a light bulb. The water diffuses the focused beam, casting a soft, even glow that fills the space. This eliminates the harsh shadows and reduces the eye strain that comes from working under a direct beam, which is critical if you're trying to read a map, administer first aid, or simply get your kids ready for bed. The versatility of this hack is what makes it a must-know. Any clear container filled with water will work, from a standard disposable bottle to a larger 2-liter jug or even a glass vase. For an even more effective lantern, Try adding a few drops of milk or a pinch of salt to the water to make it slightly cloudy, which enhances the diffusion and creates an even softer glow. You don't need special gear. A simple piece of string or a rubber band is enough to hold your light source in place. For a truly sustainable lighting solution, use a solar-powered garden light. Let it charge in the sun during the day, then pop it into the top of your water bottle at night for hours of free, battery-less light. This is a game-changer for long-term outages. Beyond its practical use, the Omni-Glow lantern provides a huge morale boost. A room bathed in soft, ambient light feels significantly safer and more normal than one pierced by a single stark beam. 3. The thermal shield, your secret weapon curtain. Most people see foil-backed or thermal curtains as a way to block out summer sun or keep a bedroom dark. But in a survival scenario, these thermal shields become one of the most powerful and versatile tools in your home. They are your secret weapon for controlling your environment when the grid can't. During brutal winter storms where power was lost for days, people used these curtains not just on their windows but in ingenious ways to create insulated warm rooms within their larger homes. By trapping every bit of precious body heat and blocking icy drafts, they turned a desperate situation into a manageable one. The magic is in the design. The reflective foil layer is a radiant barrier. In winter, it bounces your indoor heat back into the room instead of letting it escape through the glass. In summer, it reflects the sun's thermal energy away from your windows, keeping the inside cool. The heavy fabric layer provides an additional barrier against conduction and convection, stopping cold air from seeping in around the window frame. This dual-action insulation is invaluable when your furnace or air conditioner is out of commission. But their true survival potential is unlocked when you think beyond the window. You can use a thermal curtain to partition off a large living area, creating a smaller, more manageable space to heat with your body heat and alternative sources like a can heater. Drape one over a doorway to an unused part of the house to stop drafts cold. In a true emergency, it can even serve as a highly effective makeshift blanket or sleeping bag, reflecting up to 90% of your body heat back to you. For those in hot climates, hanging these curtains can lower a room's temperature by 10 to 15 degrees, a critical defense against heat stroke during a summer blackout. Preppers also use them to protect their food supplies. Lining a pantry with thermal curtains can help stabilize the temperature and protect perishables from spoiling. They also offer a layer of security, blocking any light from candles or lanterns from being visible outside. These curtains are reusable, fold down compactly, and are a one-time investment for year-round peace of mind. 4. The silent powerhouse, building your own battery bank. When the grid goes down, the silence can be deafening, but the loss of power is what's truly dangerous. Many people think their only option is a loud, expensive generator, but there's a smarter, quieter, and more affordable solution you can build yourself. The silent powerhouse. This DIY battery bank can become the beating heart of your home during an outage, providing crucial electricity without the noise, fumes, or fuel costs of a traditional generator. In the aftermath of disasters like the 2017 Puerto Rico blackout, it was this kind of resourcefulness that allowed families to keep essential devices running for weeks, not just hours. They pieced together simple systems that powered lights, charged phones, and ran medical equipment, proving you don't need a fortune to have power. At its core, a battery bank is simply a collection of rechargeable batteries linked together to create a reservoir of electrical energy. You can then tap into this energy using a device called an inverter, which converts the DC power from the batteries into the AC power your household devices use, or through direct USB ports for smaller gadgets. The magic of the DIY approach is its scalability and adaptability. You can start small with a single deep-cycle battery, often salvageable from an old boat or RV, and pair it with an inexpensive trickle charger or a small solar panel. This basic setup is enough to keep your phones charged and run some LED lights. As your needs or budget grow, you can add more batteries to increase your capacity, creating a system robust enough to power a small refrigerator, a CPAP machine, or a fan. The survival applications are immense. In a crisis, communication is key. A reliable power source ensures you can keep your phones, emergency radios, and laptops charged, allowing you to receive critical updates and contact loved ones. For those who rely on powered medical devices, a silent battery bank isn't a convenience, it's a lifeline. Unlike a generator, a battery bank operates in complete silence and produces no emissions, making it safe for indoor use. This stealth factor is a significant tactical advantage. A noisy generator acts like a beacon, advertising your resources to potentially desperate people. A silent power source keeps you safe and under the radar. You can build this system in a sturdy, portable box, allowing you to move your power source wherever it's needed most, from the kitchen to the basement. 5. The off-grid kitchen. Mastering the portable stove. In a blackout, your modern kitchen becomes little more than a collection of countertops and useless appliances. But the need for hot, safe food doesn't disappear. That's where the off-grid kitchen comes in. Centered around one of the most underrated survival tools, a simple, portable cooking stove. When the power grid failed during the 2021 Texas freeze, countless families found themselves in a modern home without the ability to cook. Those who had a small camping stove, however, were able to boil water, heat canned food, and even melt snow for drinking. That single flame provided not just sustenance but a powerful dose of warmth and morale in freezing conditions. It proves that survival often boils down to the basics, and a hot meal is as basic as it gets. The importance of a cooking stove goes far beyond comfort. When refrigeration fails, bacteria in food can multiply rapidly. Consuming undercooked or spoiled food during an emergency can lead to severe foodborne illness at a time when hospitals may be overwhelmed or unreachable. A portable stove ensures you can bring food to a safe cooking temperature, killing off harmful pathogens. It also unlocks your emergency food supply, turning dry goods like rice, beans, and pasta into nourishing meals. Beyond cooking, this tool is a water purification powerhouse. Boiling is the most reliable method for making questionable water safe to drink. A good stove can bring a liter of water to a rolling boil in minutes, a task that would be nearly impossible otherwise. Modern portable stoves offer incredible fuel flexibility, which is a critical feature when supply lines are disrupted. You can find models that run on ubiquitous propane canisters, butane, white gas, alcohol, or even natural materials like twigs and wood pellets. Having a multi-fuel stove means you're not dependent on a single resource. Many designs also incorporate features like built-in windscreens and pressure regulators, which maximize heat efficiency and conserve precious fuel. This allows you to cook more meals with less, extending your resources over a longer period. The psychological impact of a hot meal or a warm cup of coffee during a crisis cannot be overstated. It provides a sense of normalcy and comfort that helps keep spirits high and minds clear. A compact stove takes up minimal space in a closet or car trunk but delivers an outsized capability when you need it most. 6. The gravity-fed purifier, your DIY water filter. In any survival situation, the clock starts ticking on your water supply first. Dehydration is a swift and relentless threat, and when the taps run dry or become contaminated, you need a reliable way to create safe drinking water. Enter the gravity-fed purifier, a DIY sand and gravel filter that mimics Earth's natural water purification process using materials you can find almost anywhere. This low-tech, high-impact device has been used in disaster zones across the globe, from post-earthquake Haiti to remote villages, to turn murky, sediment-filled water into a much safer source for drinking. It's a testament to the power of simple physics and one of the most important skills you can learn. The principle is brilliantly simple. The filter works by passing water through progressively finer layers of material, letting gravity do all the work. Each layer strips out different-sized contaminants. You can build one using a common 2-liter soda bottle or a 5-gallon bucket. You start by cutting the bottom off the bottle and turning it upside down. The first layer at the bottom, near the spout, is typically cloth or a coffee filter to hold the materials in. Then comes a layer of small rocks or gravel which catches larger debris like leaves and twigs. Next is a layer of coarse sand, followed by a thick layer of fine sand. The fine sand is the real workhorse, trapping smaller sediment, silt, and even some larger microorganisms. For a significant upgrade, add a layer of activated charcoal crushed from aquarium filters or water pitchers on top of the sand. Charcoal is excellent at absorbing chemical contaminants, pesticides, and compounds that cause bad tastes and odors. While this filter won't remove viruses or the smallest bacteria, it does the heavy lifting by removing the turbidity, the cloudiness, from the water. This is a critical first step because purification methods like boiling or chemical tablets, iodine or chlorine, are far more effective in clear water. Filtering first makes your final purification step more reliable and saves your fuel or chemical supply. The beauty of this system is its sustainability. It requires no power, has no moving parts to break, and the filter media can be cleaned and reused. In a long-term crisis where bottled water has vanished and municipal systems are offline, having the knowledge to build a gravity-fed purifier means you can turn a questionable pond, stream, or rain barrel into a life-sustaining resource. 7. The Everflame, your infinite mason jar lamp. When a blackout hits, the immediate scramble for light often leads to disappointment, dead flashlight batteries, or candles that burn out far too quickly. But there's a timeless, incredibly reliable solution that can provide light indefinitely, and you can build it from items likely already in your kitchen. This is the Everflame, a DIY oil lamp made from a simple mason jar. For centuries, this was the standard for household lighting, because it's cheap, incredibly efficient, and endlessly reusable. During historic blackouts, like the one that plunged New York City into darkness in 1977, resourceful people who couldn't find flashlights turned to improvised oil lamps, keeping their homes lit and safe while the city outside was pitch black. The principle is simple: capillary action. A sturdy, heat-resistant glass container like a mason jar acts as the fuel reservoir. You can fill it with proper lamp oil for a clean burn, but in a pinch, common kitchen oils like vegetable, olive, or canola oil will also work. The fuel is drawn up through a wick. You can buy cotton wicks for pennies or fashion one yourself from a tightly twisted strip of a 100% cotton fabric, like from an old t-shirt. Once the wick is saturated and lit, it provides a steady, consistent flame that consumes fuel at a surprisingly slow rate. A single jar filled with oil can provide light for an entire night, or even longer, far outlasting any candle. The real advantage of the Everflame is its sustainability. Unlike a candle that is gone once it burns down, an oil lamp can simply be refilled. This makes it a perfect long-term lighting solution for an extended power outage. You can easily adjust the brightness by raising or lowering the wick, allowing you to conserve fuel when you only need a dim light. For added safety, drill a hole in the metal lid of the mason jar and feed the wick through it. This creates a more stable, enclosed flame that is less likely to be knocked over and also reduces smoke. In a prolonged crisis, having multiple Everflames ready to go means you can maintain a sense of normalcy and security. You can read, play cards, or move safely around your home without fumbling in the dark. It's a simple, powerful, and endlessly useful tool. 8. The all-weather spark. Vaseline-soaked fire starters. Starting a fire is a fundamental survival skill, but it becomes incredibly difficult when conditions are working against you, when it's wet, windy, or freezing cold. This is where the all-weather spark comes in. A legendary DIY fire starter, so reliable it's a staple for seasoned survivalists and special forces operators alike. Made from just two common household items, cotton balls and petroleum jelly, like Vaseline, this simple creation is practically guaranteed to get a fire going when other methods fail. During emergency situations like the 2018 California wildfires, where people were forced to evacuate with minimal supplies, these waterproof fire starters were used to light crucial fires for warmth and cooking when everything around them was damp or chaotic. The science behind their effectiveness is a perfect partnership. Cotton is extremely flammable but burns out in seconds. Petroleum jelly, on the other hand, is a slow-burning, waxy substance. When you combine them, you create the ideal fire starter. The petroleum jelly coats the cotton fibers, making the entire ball waterproof. You can literally submerge one in water, shake it off, and it will still light instantly. Once it catches a spark from a ferro rod, lighter, or match, the cotton ignites, which in turn melts the petroleum jelly. The jelly then acts as a long-lasting fuel source, creating a hot, persistent flame that can burn for 5 to 10 minutes. That's more than enough time to dry out damp kindling and ignite larger pieces of wood. Making a batch of all-weather sparks takes just a few minutes. Take a standard cotton ball, gently pull it apart to increase its surface area, and then thoroughly work a dollop of petroleum jelly into all the fibers until it's completely saturated. The goal is to coat it, not just glob it on. Store your finished fire starters in a waterproof container. An old pill bottle, a small plastic bag, or a film canister works perfectly. A single cotton ball takes up almost no space and weighs nothing, yet it provides a powerful fire-starting capability. In a blackout or survival scenario, fire means warmth, boiled water for safe drinking, cooked food, and a massive morale boost. Having a foolproof method to create that fire is not a luxury, it's a necessity. These simple DIY starters are the ultimate fire insurance policy. 9. The passive amplifier. The baking sheet reflector. In your kitchen, a baking sheet is for cookies and roasted vegetables. In a blackout, it transforms into a passive amplifier, a powerful tool for manipulating light and heat without using a single watt of electricity. This hack leverages a basic principle of physics. Shiny surfaces reflect energy. By strategically placing a simple baking sheet, you can amplify the effectiveness of your limited resources, making your shelter brighter, warmer, and more efficient. This isn't a new idea. In remote, off-grid communities, people have long used reflective surfaces to maximize precious light and heat. During the long, dark Alaskan winters, a well-placed reflector can make a single candle feel like three, pushing back the darkness and saving fuel. For lighting, the application is straightforward. Place a baking sheet vertically behind a candle, an oil lamp, or even a small LED light. The reflective surface will capture the light that would otherwise be absorbed by the wall and bounce it back into the room, effectively doubling the illumination in that direction. This allows you to light a larger area with fewer resources, extending the life of your candles, oil, or batteries. The same concept works wonders for heat. Position the baking sheet behind a small heat source like a DIY can heater or a portable catalytic heater. It will act as a radiant heat reflector, directing the thermal energy towards you and the living space, rather than letting it escape into the cold wall behind it. This can make a noticeable difference in the ambient temperature of a room, creating a more comfortable and survivable environment. The utility of the passive amplifier extends outdoors as well. If you're using a solar oven, propping up 1 or 2 baking sheets can help concentrate more of the sun's rays onto your cooker, significantly reducing cooking times. In a dire situation, the baking sheet becomes an excellent emergency signaling device. Its large reflective surface can be angled towards the sun to flash at rescue aircraft or distant search parties, creating a glint of light that is visible for miles. The best part is that this tool requires no special preparation. The baking sheet sitting in your cabinet right now is ready for emergency duty. Even if it's old and scratched, it will still reflect a significant amount of energy. It's a perfect example of how the most effective survival tools are often the simple, multi-purpose items we overlook every day. 10. The draft killer. Tactical duct tape sealing. When the power dies in the dead of winter, your home's greatest enemy isn't just the cold outside, it's the cold air silently invading your living space. Tiny invisible gaps around windows and doors can create powerful drafts that steal precious warmth and make your home feel like an icebox. The ultimate defense against this threat is the draft killer, a roll of duct tape. While famous for quick fixes, its true survival value is in its ability to create an airtight seal. During the catastrophic 2021 Texas freeze, families who used duct tape and plastic sheeting to seal their windows and doors reported that their indoor temperatures stayed noticeably higher. This simple act trapped body heat and the output from small heaters, making the difference between misery and manageability. The concept is to create an impermeable barrier against air exchange. Heat naturally moves to cold, and drafts accelerate this process dramatically. By taping plastic sheeting, like a painter's drop cloth or even a trash bag, over the entire window frame, you create a pocket of dead air. This pocket acts as an excellent insulator, slowing heat loss through the glass. You then use the duct tape to seal every single edge of the plastic to the wall, creating a complete barrier that stops drafts cold. You can do the same for doors, especially exterior ones, or those leading to unheated basements or garages. A strip of duct tape along the bottom of a door can stop a surprising amount of cold air from seeping in. Duct tape is the perfect tool for this job due to its strong adhesive, flexibility, and durability. It sticks to almost any surface: wood, drywall, vinyl, metal, and holds firm even in cold and damp conditions where other tapes would fail. Beyond conserving heat, this technique is a critical defense against airborne threat. During a wildfire, sealing your home's entry points can keep dangerous smoke from infiltrating your breathable air. In the event of a nearby chemical spill or even a severe dust storm, creating a shelter-in-place seal with duct tape and plastic can protect your family from hazardous particulate. A single roll of duct tape is inexpensive, has an indefinite shelf life when stored properly, and is incredibly versatile. In a crisis, that simple roll can be used to fortify your shelter, repair gear, and ultimately keep the elements at bay, proving once again that it is one of the most valuable survival items you can own.